So I'm Michael Szabo. My studio is in San Francisco, and we do large-scale sculpture, site-specific, that is inspired by and speaks to the environments that it inhabits. I don't often apply to memorials. There was something that stood out to me about this call. It was evident to me that Suwanee was looking for something really unique and different as far as a memorial. Something that is really, I guess I could use the word inclusive, something that really kind of brings the experience, especially for veterans, you know, to the wider community, and really kind of shows something new to people. So it was unique. I hadn't seen a call like that. So not having a military background myself, I really researched just military service, and I reached out to my network across the country and just tried to find as many veterans as possible with a wide range of experience and type of service, and asked if they would spend some time with me on the phone or in person just to learn about their experience and what their service meant to them. So I interviewed everyone from, a plumber in the Air Force to a retired general in the Army, and, hours of interviews, pages of notes from those interviews. And I started kind of seeing what some common themes of what it means to veterans to serve, and how they would want to be understood and appreciated and acknowledged and memorialized by the society and the community in general. Another thing that I think really caught my attention in the call, the Suwanee's call for this, is they said they did not want this to be a memorial to combat veterans or fallen veterans, but to all veterans who served in all ways. So one of the things that about large-scale public art that's very challenging, but is also exciting for me, and maybe what drew me to it, was just the logistical challenge of transporting and installing, let alone fabricating to begin with. This piece was fabricated in my studio in San Francisco, and we have to kind of a lot of times work backwards with the planning as far as the pieces fitting on the truck, how they're going to be installed. So these 6 spires are each independently anchored in the pool underneath, and they all connect to each other on top, but in a ring. So there isn't one common area where they connect. So the logistical challenge was, how do you install that? And we actually had to use 2 cranes, one that held up the first spire, and then another one that comes and brings them in one at a time. And that first crane can't let go until the last one connects where it started to complete the ring, and then they all hold each other up. So that was a very kind of unique and interesting and fun, sometimes stressful, ultimately very successful challenge. I really liked about the call, the language in the call of Suwanee, is that they knew that they wanted a piece of artwork in this reflecting pool, but they were open to new and different ways that the artist could integrate it in. And so one feature that really I thought was important once this design started coming together was a way for people to really, once they're drawn to the visual aspects of the piece, to really come up and interact with it. And so adding this sloped walkway that leads to this really intimate circular seating area underneath the work, so you're kind of becoming part of the work and really experiencing it, I think was really important. And even though it was kind of an additional feature on top of the original scope, I hoped that it would be interesting to the city, and it was. So another aspect of the project that really ties the artwork itself into the park and into the community of Suwanee and community of veterans is these commemorative plaques that the city put out for people in Suwanee to commemorate their veterans that they in their family or friends, and so that's another way that this piece really kind of becomes a part of the park. The name specifically, well, it came from a general theme that started to really come up with all my interviews, where every single person that served said that the biggest part of their service and how it's even affected their life during and since their service was that it made them really feel like they were part of something bigger than themselves, and they were contributing to something bigger than themselves for the country, for really, all of greater society. And it was the retired general that I spoke to who actually used the phrase greater good, that it really serviced the kind of the real meaning of service for most people is that they're contributing to the greater good.